Now let's talk about the difference between mediation and litigation. So I've talked a little bit about what mediation is. So to show the differences, litigation involves a legal and factual determination to establish liability. When you litigate, you're going in front of somebody, typically a judge, who's going to listen to the facts and the evidence, is going to apply the law to those facts and that evidence, and is going to make a decision. And is going to say either you're at fault, or you're both at fault. And then is going to make a decision about, now that we know who's at fault, what are we going to do about it? You're going to pay money or do something, you're going to pay money or do something, or you're both going to pay each other money, which offsets it. But it's not about finding a solution to your problem long term. It's just about deciding that we're going to end this conflict by saying who's at fault and what that person who's at fault is going to have to do because they did something wrong. So that's what litigation is intended to do. So mediation is more about being an informal environment, trying to be non-adversarial in your environment, and trying to create a workable solution that will either address the problem in the short term so that you can resolve it in a way that is satisfactory to everybody, or to address the problem long term. One of the reasons why mediation can be so critical in family law is because typically you have people who are going to have their lives intertwined in some fashion for many, many years. In a business setting where two people went into a contract with each other and the contract was breached and now they're in dispute over who's responsible and how they're going to get compensated and those sort of things, the conflict can end in some fashion, whatever it may be, and the people may never see each other again. But in a family law setting, especially if you have minor children, you got to work together as co-parents for however many years. And then even after your children are over the age of 18 and on their own, you're still going to have events that all the family's going to come together. There's going to be weddings, there's going to be celebrations, there's going to be funerals. And you're going to have your lives intertwined for all of those things. And so looking at just getting the short-term resolution is usually not a good idea, because there's usually long-term needs to find some level of being able to work together. Even if it's just we can walk in the room and not start yelling at each other, and we can just stand on opposite sides and be okay with that, that we can be okay with that. Even if that's just the goal, that's fine. But in family law, it's so critically important because usually you're in it for the long haul. Mediation, I already talked about, is confidential. The mediator doesn't decide anything, the mediator just assists. The final result, though, is decided by you. So when you go to court, the judge tells you what the final result is, and you have to live with it. And my experience is, basically in the family law arena, when parties go to court and the judge decides what the rest of their life is going to look like, neither one of them are ever happy. Well, I always think that they have to really put the effort into trying to get it resolved at mediation, because they have a significantly better chance of coming up with a workable solution for the long term than going in front of the judge. And a judge will typically tell you that if he or she makes a decision and both parties walk out unhappy, they feel then that they've made the right decision. So that's defined as success. So when you have control over your own destiny and make the decisions of what your life is going to look like, you significantly increase the chances of your settlement working effectively than if you go in front of the judge and the judge decides it for you.